Okay, so now one thing you'll notice, if we don't put in a name, it will kind of say hi, and you press the button on that date. So what we now want, we want to add some validation to say, hey, when you press a button, that you need to press a name, select a name. So what we want to do here is we want to add an if statement here. When you say if username dot value is blank, we basically want to say that the inner HTML should be something like this. Message inner HTML, then we'll say please enter a name, and then we save that, we run that, and let's see. So if I press this now, how you press on the button, so that didn't work because our code was keep on running. So what I need to do is I need to put an else statement here, that I need to say, hey, I do the one thing or the other thing, because what happened now is I was setting the message here, but the code kept running and it then set the message again. So what I will do here is I will do Control R. I will say hi, press on this, hi, press the button on. So now I'm still getting this. Okay, so the thing we want to check is what is the value of username when the button is actually pressed, because it's clearly not. Oh, it is blank because I made a typo here, as a classic typo. I want to put this to double equal, triple equal in fact, not a single equal. So if I run this and say how you press the button on, still having this issue. So let's have a look, save this, did I refresh this? The thing to check, what is the value of username at this point in time? So I can put that there, username, run this, Control R, press the button. So the button is blank. Username. Okay, so use again the same thing, username.value is not blank, it's actually username. I already checked the value here. So be sure I've extracted the value here. At this point in time I want to check whether username is actually blank. So if I run that, say it's blank, and say please enter a name. So that's much better. So now I can take my alert out. I can refresh my screen and then I press on the button please enter a name, and then as soon as I enter a name I press there, I press on the button on. So in this case still not ideal because I haven't selected a date. So in this case we could potentially add some more code here to see whether the value of the date was selected. So I could go on here, so I can make message a value here. So now I need to make this message not a const. So now I have a message and I want to have another if statement here, and I want to say if the current date is not equal blank, then we want to say message, we want to append that to the message, we want to say on versus the date on that current date. Let's have a look. If the current date is not equal to blank, then we keep appending onto the message. So now our username press the button, if there's a date we'll display the date. Let's see if that happens. So first of all we do that, print the name. So now I do Andrew. Andrew pressed on the date. Then if I go back, run there, press the button on, you see, oh, there's a formatting issue there. So we need to make sure that we put a space there. Let's run that again. Initially, please enter a name, Andrew, press that's fine. So if I go here, 24th, press the button, you see now it's nicely formatted and much better because we added this space over here. So you can see now how we can start putting some JavaScript into this code, and now that would help us to create a much more interactive behavior in our little widget on our web page.